The objectives of improving the efficiency of fleet maintenance and operation can be formulated quite simply. The vehicles should be on the road, not break down, and maintenance costs should remain within the expected budget. Accordingly, this budget can be measured. The fleet readiness factor shows how many vehicles are available for work. To achieve this goal, this slide presents the tasks that lead to achieving it. At the top of the list is reducing repair time. It is also necessary to minimize breakdowns because going out of service means a loss of time and money. It is essential to optimize expenses, not just for tires, fuel, and salaries, but also for other operational costs. Increasing the productivity of mechanics who directly perform repairs is also very important. At the same time, payroll costs must be kept within expected limits. And of course, if inventory is not properly managed, it can consume a huge amount of money. Our company, with expertise in logistics and transportation, provides audit services to identify business growth points. Conveying the full scope of information takes several days. In this presentation, we will discuss key specific measures and provide concrete solutions to critical challenges. Reducing repair time is crucial because if vehicles spend less time in repair, fewer backup vehicles are needed, and more vehicles can be on the road generating revenue. A Scania truck costs about 200,000 euros. If a fleet of 500 vehicles increases its fleet readiness factor by just 5%, it would need 25 fewer tractors to handle the same volume of transportation. This means a cost saving of 5 million euros. Why else it is important to save time on maintenance? When a vehicle is on the road, it generates more revenue and profit. Workshop productivity will increase, allowing fewer mechanics to handle more tasks. Optimizing time will inevitably impact other areas and business processes. It will also help optimize inventory management and scheduled maintenance. Additionally, it will improve transparency. Let's look at the main causes of time loss. Time is an irreplaceable resource. While money can be earned, lost time cannot be recovered. When employees spend time on inefficient operations, they pay less attention to quality control. The main cause of time loss is a poorly structured workflow. Here are some examples of inefficiencies that lead to time loss. A truck arrives for repair based on a driver's request. A week later, it turns out that it needs to be taken off the road again for the scheduled maintenance. Another week later, it comes in again based on the recommendations. Instead of one visit, there were three. This results in significant losses. Managing your own fleet is a complex process, one of the 10 most difficult types of businesses. If you were to document all working procedures for employees, they would exceed 100. It is impossible to remember everything. Here's another real life example. A fleet maintenance manager says, I was walking by and saw a bus parked for days. Why has it been standing there for so long? The gearbox is broken. Did you order the spare parts? Yes, we did. Have they arrived? We don't know. It turned out that the spare parts had arrived a week ago. The repair could have been done a week earlier, and the bus could have been back on the road. There are many such cases where things get forgotten. Another real life example. If there is no fair incentive system, maintenance managers and supervisors have to chase mechanics. They end up finding them sleeping in the back seat of a bus or on a truck bunk. Finally, the lack of small but critical spare part can stall repairs for the entire duration of its delivery. Let's examine how the repair process should be optimized. A key step is lodging a repair request via mobile app. Drivers don't need to call a duty mechanic or wait for them to return from lunch. A driver submits a request whenever it's convenient, attaching photos and videos to help mechanics diagnose the problem, resulting in faster repairs. The driver's app can include a checklist for vehicle handover. There are procedures and regulations, but in practice, drivers often just hand over the keys without checks. Filling out a checklist ensures personal responsibility, confirming that the driver has inspected necessary components. When a driver submits a request, the FleetGarage system automatically notifies the duty mechanic or master via messenger, SMS, or email. The mechanic or master checks the mechanic's workload schedule and plans the repair. The fleet dispatcher receives a notification and knows when the vehicle will be taken off the route. If the dispatcher is unhappy with the timing, electronic approval in FleetGarage simplifies adjustments. 30 minutes before the scheduled service, the designated driver receives a reminder. As a result, the vehicle arrives at the workshop on time, reducing chaos, keeping repairs on schedule, and significantly increasing workshop productivity. Fleet maintenance and operation is a complex process, and improving efficiency requires enhancements at every stage. Once the work order is created, the mechanic receives a notification and starts working. A very useful module is the introduction of repair process tracking with mechanic check-ins. This can be done via mechanic smartphone or a dedicated workstation. The mechanic logs the start, pause, and completion times and can also request a supervisor's attention. For example, after completing diagnostics, the mechanic documents their findings. Here's another real-life example. A queue of 3 mechanics was waiting to speak with the head mechanic. By the time it was the third mechanic's turn, he lost his working time by waiting already. Improving communication efficiency between mechanics and supervisors significantly enhances workflow quality. If your workshop has a TV panel displaying real-time repair statuses and workload, the duty mechanic doesn't need to run around asking, "What are you working on? What's next?" Everything is visible. There are also material incentives, performance-based bonuses for mechanics. But when all mechanics see their colleagues' productivity, no one wants to be the lowest performer, which positively impacts motivation. This presentation covers only a small portion of how time can be saved in fleet maintenance. This slide presents additional control points we offer, such as cost control, control of washes, notifications, optimization of direct costs, integration with GPS, and so on. This slide shows the tangible results achieved at a passenger's transportation company after implementing advanced business processes and effective software over the course of a year. The fleet readiness factor increased significantly. Mechanic productivity increased by 43%. Previously, 190 employees in 5 workshops maintained 600 vehicles. A year later, 210 mechanics were maintaining 930 vehicles already. Do you know where the extra 330 vehicles came from? They went out of warranty, and instead of using dealer services, the company started handling maintenance in-house. Implement the Fleet Garage system and reduce your fleet maintenance costs.